G'day people, I'm Monstad. Welcome back to Space Engineers Single Player Survival. So, last episode we started working on the drone factory for the automated cargo drones that will run to and from the ice drills and the hydrogen processing plant that is here. Not so much of a factory, but more of a workshop now. Yep. Why? No idea. So, excuse me. So this is what I've come up with. Like I said, initially when I first thought about this, I envisaged a kind of large factory. Oh, excuse me. That was fully automated, but having to think about it, it's a factory's probably a bit more than required. It's more a workshop that's required for this because we only need to make 8 of them because that's all we've got, and then I can't see it needing to be extended because we will never use the ice that we gather from this anyway. I think that's going to be enough. So we'll just build them as we need them rather than have an automated thing. The kind of automated factory I had in mind, I guess, would be useful on our battleship for creating maybe remote control fighters or remote control kamikaze type bombers, because I envisage using some of those as well, you know, that you can remotely fly, that's full of explosives into the side of an enemy ship, and hopefully it will explode and cause a lot of damage. Now those things that will be used often and needing to be replaced, I can see a need for a kind of automated factory that you can just press a button and the blueprint will appear, it will craft it, and then if I'm not sure how much you're aware about blueprints, let me switch the blueprint on for the moment. Oh, the projector, I should say. Which one's the projector on? Oh, I've got my information turned off. Projector on. Boom. Okay, so the projector's on. Now, for it to be built, there must be at least one block touching at least one block of the projection. So you can see that this thruster is not quite as transparent as the other blocks. So this will be built first. Once that's built, it's then touching other blocks on the projection, and then that's the way the whole projection gets built. Really tricky to do it yourself with a welder because you need to get to the stuff inside. That's why that's another really good use for the bobs, because that doesn't affect them. They will build everything that needs to be built. As the blocks are touched by full blocks, it'll build the next and the next and the next and so on and so forth. So what I've done is I've redone the blueprint slightly with this one, so that it should form with the engines engaged, and then once it's complete, we grind this block away, and then it becomes an independent vehicle, and it should hover there whilst we take control of it and fly it out. The hangar doors up there, which I've put there to get them out once they're complete. Now I tested it with one of them and it seemed to work pretty well. So the way I've got the blueprint, the projector I should say, set up is I've got it. I had to mess around to get it in the right the blueprint in the right position, but it's on keep blueprint, so each time a blueprint is finished, we can switch off the projector. When we switch the projector back on again, the blueprint should appear in exactly the same place. Then all we do is just replace this block and it will be ready to build. If that block isn't touching that, the bobs will ignore it because there's no block to start constructing. At the moment the bobs are off. And I'm going to go and switch them on in a minute, and we can just make sure this gets built, because I haven't tested building one with the actual engines engaged so far, so I'm hoping that will be the case. So let's go and switch on the bobs. I may not have enough components actually in this now. Another thing I'd quite like to do today is get a system set up whereby we can transfer components from our main storage over there directly into the what is now our portable constructor, as well as our salvage ship. So let's pop those on, and if we look through the window, we should see it being built. Cool beans. Let's get back inside. Ah, my eyes! It's very bright when it's welding. So this storage here, I used oh, what's this mod? I can't remember. Yeah, it's the no. Which one is it? Which one is it? Dead Tech Logistics. That's it. Has a really nice array. Sorry if that weld is too loud. It has a really nice array of cargo boxes that are great for laying around in a kind of warehouse area. You know, like cargo boxes would be, rather than just have the huge big ones stacked up. So in this one, what I've done is added 300 uranium, because I'll put 50 uranium into each drone to give it plenty of lifetime. So we should be pretty much all set up in here now. I was fairly pleased on how the workshop turned out. A little bit plain in areas, but functional. Yeah, I think we may be short of motors in there, so it'll be built with the reactor off, and the reason that there's a battery on there, I think I might have explained last time, is so that the conveyor system will work. So we can just pop uranium into here, and the uranium will power the reactor. So let's do that now. Let's grab 50 uranium, pop that in there, and if the battery is complete, it should start, yep, going into the reactor. The reactor's come on, so it's been crafted with the engines engaged, and it looks like it's complete. Cool beans. So now all we need to do, so if we had if it was fully automated, what we would need to do, and I've seen it done once a long time ago, I think it was, by Wasted Space, who did an automated factory, and once the thing was built, what he did was time how long the thing was taken to built, and there'd be a piston with a grinder attached to it with timers, and then after that certain time had finished, or he was certain it was finished, the grinder would engage, the piston would engage, the grinder would move forward, grind off that block, move back, switch itself off, and then the thing would be done. Now you can still see a shimmering on there because the blueprint's still on. So if we turn the blueprint, sorry, the projector, let's turn the projector off. So that would all be on timers as well. The projector would need to be timed so that it went off as well at the end of it. And then we could have a timer with the hangar doors opening as well. So that's how you could automate it. You still need to take control of it, as far as I'm aware, to get it out. But if anybody knows an easier way to automate a factory, then please let me know. I'm not an expert with blueprints, I'm not an expert with projectors, and I'm not an expert with automation. So yeah, if you know of better ways to do that, then please let me know. So what we can do now is one of two things. We could control it from here and get it outside, or what I'd rather do is I'm going to nip up to our observation deck, and we should be able to control it from there. So the name of this one should be called Ice Drone Template. And what I want to do is, I started numbering these. I can't, yeah, one of the problems with this is we can't quite see the landing area all the way along, but I guess we could move this one over to here. I'm not sure what number that one is. That fine was 8, so 8 76543. Actually, that is the third one. Is that right? Looks too far away from that one. I'm sure I only built 8. Maybe I built 9 by mistake. Anyway, let's move it to that one. I'm not going to put it on. I'm just going to rest it outside for now. And next to it, then switch it off. So Shift K. We'll get our remote control system up. So it should be this one here. ID cargo template. So if we control that one and go to our camera number 8, it doesn't show. Oh, I know what I did. Right, what I did was I renamed our original ice drone as template, blueprinted it, but forgot to rename it all back to Ice Drone 1. So I'm going to go and do that now, and I will be right back to you in a moment. Later. Okay, welcome back. So what I'd done is originally all this was called Ice Drone ID Cargo 01 to let us know it was the #1 ice drone or ice cargo drone. I renamed it all to template, re-blueprinted it, but forgot to rename it all back to 1. So everywhere you see a template, I had 01. So I'm just changing all that back now. There we go. Otherwise, when the blueprint is built, the problem we just had then will happen every time. The blueprint will come up as the name of the original craft that you blueprinted, and if that craft is still around nearby within your antenna range, you're not sure which one you're going to get when you go into your remote menu. So this time when we go into this, we should see this one. Still saying 45 meters. Oh, idiot. Got to actually rename the vessel. Bear with me. I could have done it from there, but I just wanted to make sure I got the right one. So there. Terminal. Info. That's the key one that I need to change. Okay. Trial and error. Trial and error. I guess that's what engineering is. Not that I'm an engineer, but I'm sure it is. Okay, this time. Right, it's come out with that. So let's go into there. In fact, let's control it. Look at through a camera and make sure we have the right one. Camera number 8. Yep, we're inside the cargo area. So let's rename that one ID Cargo 03. Now let's try that again. So I think probably the best way to do this is head up to our observation deck, and then we can fly it by our Mark III eyeball to where we want it. So let's try it again. Shift K. This is where we should have been the first time. Control. Let's look through our camera and make sure we have the right one. Yep. So we should be able to go straight up and out if I've lined this up properly with the blueprint. And we have. Good. So there it is, out there. So we won't control it with the camera now. We'll control it from here. Let's bring it down a bit so we can see it. Turn him around. Try and keep it straight and flat and level. We'll just land them next to his connector. Engine's off. Power it down. Bob's your uncle. Fanny's your aunt. Drone number 3 in place. and ready to be configured. So that's how we're going to build it. Now, the next 5 will be much quicker and much faster and much easier because, you know, I've sorted out the bugs. I put a control panel up here just so we could control stuff from up here. So should we be able to close the drone bay hangars from up here? Is it closing? It is indeed. We can switch the projector on and off from here. I'm not going to switch it on again at the moment because the bobs are still on. In fact, why not? Why not? Let's make sure it does actually come on when we get down there. I just heard it come on. Now Bob shouldn't start building it because it's missing that block that's connecting it to the projector. Yeah. So it's ready to go. All we need to do is connect this block. Just change my color back. Why did that come up as fully built? Oh, it didn't. It didn't. It was just the light. That's fine. Doesn't need to be fully built as long as it's connecting it. So yeah, so Bob will start building that one as well. That'll be drone number 4. Now I'm pretty sure we're going to be short of components in Bob. So one of the other things I wanted to do today was try and figure out a way for us to bring... I need a name for the salvage and constructing ship. Salskrut. Consalve. Yeah. Salcon. There you go. The Salcon. The salvage and construction ship. Anyway, what I wanted to do was sort something out over here. That connector's no good because it just connects into the hydrogen tank below for this one. The rain will get in there. I should have put a little block in there, shouldn't I? So basically what I want, we're probably not going to use the bobs inside here for any more construction. So I guess this could just be the factory, and the components that are in this cargo box is just that cargo box will just become a temporary storage for the components that will be transferred to the Salcon unit. The name's growing on me. So we could configure it with a connector with a sorter that automatically drags everything out of this large cargo container when something lands on top of the connector, and the only thing we're going to land on it is that. The question is, how on earth are we going to fit that? I think that the only feasible thing is the roof, really, isn't it? But this is probably going to be too close. See, I guess I could have thought about all this originally, but I didn't realise I was going to have a mobile construction unit, to tell you the truth. I think what we may have to do is bring it out. See, the solar panels are quite close as well. I don't want to start ruining all of this, because we could have brought it forward and had it over here. I don't really think that's an option unless we can run a conveyor within the inside of here. I guess that's a possibility, isn't it? Let's have a look. How will it fit? Just trying to figure out where. Okay, so and now we'd need to Is that the ribbing, that block? Yes, it is, isn't it? So that's the ribbing that goes over there. So I'm wondering if we... We could run it that way, couldn't we? And then out sort of up here somewhere. That could be an option. Yeah. That might work. We should still be able to get it. Oh. That might be an issue. So we'd have to take out that block. Oh no, that's not connected to that. Oh, that's alright. Okay. That might work. Right, so there's the cargo container there. And I already have a conveyor block there, so I could connect that through. Yeah, I think that'll work. I think we'll do that. You know what, I'm going to make that a conveyor block, just in case we need to run something this way at some point. How am I going to get out? I think I can squeeze through here, actually. Yeah. Alright. You know what, I probably want to fill my hydrogen since I'm in here. Ouch. That's going to smart. That's going to hurt in the morning. Now the bobs are missing something by the sound of it. They're clicking. Yeah, so that... because we won't see this from the outside, so it won't really matter too much that those bits are missing. But I could actually put a window block above those open bits. So where are we going to bring it up? I think we should bring it up probably here. Now why did that fall down? Can I not connect? Oh, yeah. Construction 101. Make sure it's connected to the block you're trying to build. So is that going to give enough space? So we need to bring it to here. You know what, I think we need to bring it to here. I think what I'll do is put a conveyor block there. Yeah, I think that's how we're going to do it. That gives it... oh, is that antenna going to be... I could always move the antenna, that's not a big deal. So go and have a look at the Salcom unit. What I would propose to do is remove this block and change that to a connector. So how much space do we need? We should be okay. I think we're probably going to have to move the aerial, or the antenna, but that's not a big deal. You just move that to this corner. In fact, let's do it now. Let's paint it pink. Let's shift that to here. Okay, should fit in there, shouldn't it? Boom. There, that should give us the space we need for this. So I want to come up one more, I think. Mind you, do we need to? Because we're going to have a sorter block and a connector. Yeah, so that should be fine. So let's get a sorter and a connector. Make sure it's the right way around. Boom. Okay. Beautiful. So what we could do is just configure this sorter so that it brings all components up through here. That way when we land on the top with the Salcon unit, it will empty the components. Yeah, the components container, cargo container, into the salvage construction unit. That's probably the easiest way. So we can still use this as a factory to produce all the components, and then every now and then when we're running low, we just come over and transfer everything over in Awana. That should work. That should work. Now, did you build everything, Bob? That's the question. Doesn't sound like it because it's ticking away. Where are you? Steel plate. Really? I've got the world's allocation of steel plate in the Salcon unit. Never mind. Let's just make some. Let's just make some. I should have plenty of iron still. Okay, do you know what? I'm going to queue up a load of stuff anyway. Obviously tons of motors. Girders, computers, those, construction components, small steel tubes, that's the other one we always need tons of. 1,000 of those. There we are. Okay, that should keep us going for a while. Now, how are our ores doing? Let's go and have a look. Okay, so we should be able to see on here at a glance. So component levels, yeah. Computers are running short, so we're just fixing that now. Motors, where are the motors? Oh, we're doing okay now. So our iron, 193,000. That's the ingots, isn't it? Yeah. Cobalt, 100,000. Silicon, 58,000. So if anything, we're going to run out of silicon before anything else. Apart from that, we're doing pretty good. We really have 21,000 cobalt somewhere. It hasn't been processed. Oops, wrong button. Let's go check. I thought the refineries had all stopped working. No, they're still going. Oh, it's all in that one. Let's pop 11k of it in there and get it done. Now uranium we should be pretty good for. Still got 600 of it. Yep. I mean, these refineries have been working almost constantly since we built them, almost non-stop. In fact, pretty much non-stop, because I've always kept up on top of our ores. So that's all our ingots at the moment. So we're doing pretty good. Yeah, we should be good for iron for a while. The question is, do we have a load of stuff in this container that doesn't need to be in our salvage unit? Yeah. There's all these tools. We could do another cargo box somewhere before this one for those tools. And we could certainly I could do just taking them all out and breaking them down. Do you know what I might do? I might put an assembler on the Salcon unit, the mobile constructor, and when we pick up stuff like that, like the level 1 weapons, tier 1 tools, we can actually use the assembler to break them down into their core components, into the ores. No, that's still no good either, because the ores need to be in there. I have to think about that. I'll probably, the way I've got the sorting system set up, I will probably need to add an assembler before the refineries that is used purely to break components down to their ores. I'll have to think about that one. I'll have to think about it. Anyway. Oh, I haven't configured that sorter. Let's go configure that sorter and then add a connector to our Salcon unit. Bring it over here and transfer all that stuff. So let's turn it off for the moment. So we want drain all, don't we? So whitelist, we need... Oh no, it'd be easier to do the blacklist and then put the stuff in it that we don't want it to pull through. Actually, we could stop it from pulling the tools through, can't we? And we don't want ammunition either, do we? No, we do not. Yeah, we don't want any of that. Okay, I'll just do this and I'll get back to you because this will take a couple of minutes probably. I don't want to bore you with that. So, see you in a minute. Okay, welcome back. So I think I've got everything on there blacklisted that shouldn't be going through. So let's pop that on and go and get Salcon unit. I'm going to lift off the ground a little bit and then add that connector. So let's paint that pink. Okay. Let's test this out. Now, as long as I haven't changed it, the connector works like magic and it should hold this regardless of its weight. I've just got to be careful landing it. There we go, that helps line it up, doesn't it? Back a touch. Forward. Oh, I didn't. Oh, ooh. I turned off the merge block then. That was silly. I normally have my connector set up as number 5. Now I need to connect this again. Okay, that could have ended in utter disaster had I switched the engines off before that. Now, let's... Oh, I'm not going to know which connector it is, am I? Oh yeah, because we're not connected yet, so it should only show on this. Connector. Salcom. Let's pop that in as number 4. Switch lock. 4. We're locked. Should be able to switch the engines off. Now I wonder if we can see component lists rising. Yeah, who knows. Okay, so a large cargo container. Which one's ours? It's not that one, is it? That's the other one. So this stuff should be emptying out of there now. The components, anyway. So there's our large cargo container. That's filling up. Good. Good, it's working. Cool beans. Let me switch the bobs off for now. There we go. There we go. 2 jobs done. And did that one finish? No, there's still components. Yeah, it was missing loads of components. Probably motors. Yeah, motors and large tubes. That battery will end up running down, won't it? Not to worry. We'll leave it at that. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to call it an episode there because I think we're pretty much out of time. Hope you found that useful. Enjoyed that. Once again, we're progressing nicely towards getting this hydrogen processing plant up and running. I'm going to do a bit of work off camera. What I'll probably do is construct the remainder of the ice drones and start setting up their waypoints ready to go, and then get them all on top of their connectors. And then once we've done that, we can pretty much set them off. And the one final thing I was going to do around here, as I was reminded in the comments, I didn't build those pillboxes. We were going to do a ring of pillboxes around the actual base. I still think we should do it just for atmospheric purposes, you know, because it should be a well-defended outpost. The reason I forgot is because we haven't come across any of the enemy bases that spawn drones, so we haven't really had to defend ourselves. So I'd completely forgotten about it, but I think we probably will. Now that I've got a system to load the mobile constructor, I can now go around with a mobile constructor and easily build them once I get the design. So I think next episode we'll work on the design of the pillbox. Once we've got that, we should be able to blueprint it and then just build it really easily and quickly all the way around. Anytime we get low on resources, just produce them in the factory, load the Salcom back onto it, get the materials we need, and then go and continue. So it should be a fairly straightforward process. But yeah, but the next priority for me off camera will be complete all the drones and set their waypoints, and then on camera we'll design the pillbox. And once we've done that and the liquid hydrogen is being processed, we're pretty much done on the planet. I did want to test out some weapons against some of these enemy craft that are around, or against some of the enemy bases, and we could still do that because once we're up in space, it's not a long jaunt to come down here if we want to test out a weapon. So we can still do that. I don't think testing the weapons needs to delay us any longer from actually setting up our space base and start thinking about getting this battleship built. So yeah, so that should be it. Right, thank you very much for watching. I'm Monsterdad. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next episode. Later.